Hello and welcome. I am Shannon and I'm with Pick and Booth Vintage down in sunny Southwest Florida, and I want to thank you for joining me today. We are going to do a fun spring project. We are going to be redoing a watering can. I love doing these. They're fun. I don't think I've ever done one live. I did do one on the new release for the Melange paint inlay, and I used the big old sunflower. It was so cute. So that's on the IOD and my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Let me see. Let me get my comment up and see if anybody is joining me this morning. It's noon Eastern where I am and 9 Pacific over yonder. So it's still early for a lot of people. People are going to work and everything. So if you catch this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay it so I know that I had other people come back and see it. These videos are a lot of fun, but they're also a lot of work. I love being part of the IOD group. So real quick, I want to show you something. I did this on one of my pages. I have 2 pages. I have Pick and Booth Vintage, but now I have a Creating with Shannon Facebook page because, let me put this up, because I'm doing it for smaller crafts. So I have one kind of furniture and then one smaller craft. But look at this. Some of you I know have already seen it because it's on the IOD page and in the tribe. But look, this is with the hidden hollow mold. And then this mushroom, believe it or not, I found at an estate sale. I may or may not have trampled people to get this. I had to have it. So this is on my YouTube, and this is on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook Creating with Shannon page. So if you love that, and this is like moss paste, it's amazing. But look at it, just adds so much to it. All right, let's see. I've got Diana. Hi Pat. Michaela, howdy. All right, so anyway, I wanted to show this to you because I'm super proud of this mushroom, and this is going to live right outside my den and make me happy for a very long time because, well, my den doors go outside to my patio, so that's why. All right. Now, I did this watering can. It's right here. It started yellow, and I went ahead and painted. Let me just show you what I'm talking about because I didn't want to bore you guys to death with me painting, so I'm gonna let's do this and this. So here we go. This, hey Susan, this is what I did. So I took it and I gave it a coat of first primer because it's very shiny and I wanted my paint to stick, so I used a primer. Very important. Okay, after I did the priming, I went ahead and I painted it white. Now, for some fun, let me see. I want to make sure I get the right one up. Okay, A. I then went ahead and mixed some texture, and with my chalk paint. There's several different kinds of textures out there, different brands. Doesn't matter what you use. And mix it with some white chalk paint. And then, generally, you want the consistency to be like brownie batter, but if you want it to be really thick, you can leave it a little thicker so it goes on thicker. I wasn't looking for that, but, and if you want to, you just add a little bit more paint if you want to thin it out a little bit. So, and then this is here how I applied it. Let me see. Boop, boop. I used my blue sponge. Everybody knows what blue sponge is. Most people use them. Some people use daubers, but I didn't want to be able to see the daubers, and I didn't want to spend all day daubing it on. So I figured I would use my, wait, let me get in the camera. There we go. I wanted to use the blue sponge for this. So it went on pretty easily. And you can see it went on thick in some areas and thin in some areas. I just went back and adjusted it to how I wanted it to be. So that's that. And I just, super easy with the texture additive. Now we are working with the white can. It's ready to go. Let me pull it up. Here we are. In this darling, and it already has a texture. It's ready to go. Like I said, I didn't want to do that all online live because I would have taken a long time to dry. That's why I did it early and just showed you some video clips of it. So, if you have any questions on that, just throw them up, and I'll be happy to answer it. Now we're going to have some fun. Let's decorate this for spring. There were so many different options of what I can choose because you know that IOD has so many different fun products, whether it be the transfers, the paint inlays, which I love. You guys know I do those all the time, or the stamps. So there's a lot that out there. But what I decided we're going to do is we're going to use this. Because it is Easter and spring, we're going to use the bunny, the rabbit from the farm animals. He's just too cute. I went ahead and I just cut him out. And I left him on the plastic. Right here. Let me see. I did that because I didn't want to put on anything else because it's going to go around. This is kind of concave, so I wanted to make sure it goes around that. Oh, Michaela, you're funny. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad you were able to catch me finally. Normally you catch me on the replay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this up front for a second because I want to show you how I ink my rabbit. Now, you can, normally I use a brayer and I put it on with ink. Sometimes it gets a little messy when you use a brayer. I generally use my brayer when I want a heavy imprint. This one I'm going for more of a distressed, old vintage kind of look. And one thing I am going to do, I've learned to put on gloves. Not because the IOD ink is poisonous or anything, but I constantly walk around with paint, ink, something on my hands, and then it takes me forever to scrub it off. And people are always asking me, what did you do? Were you painting walls or something? You know, people that don't know me. So I'm just going to put on these little gloves because when I'm done, I just throw them away and I don't have to worry about my hands. I've always seen people painting with gloves. I'm like, why are they painting with gloves? Now I get it. I'm a little slow on that one. All right. Yes. Thankful for that alarm, Michaela. Okay, so I'm taking my ink pad, my IOD ink pad, and I'm just going to simply pat it on my bunny, making sure I get ink where I want it to be. Now, sometimes you'll get a little bit, I'll bring it up here, a little bit extra where you don't want it, like on the edges, especially on the edge of the stamp. So I just take a baby wipe and I just clean up my edges just a little bit before I stamp. I've noticed it helps me get a more clean impression without some extra ink that I do not want. All right. I have plenty of ink on there, so let me bring this down and let's stamp. Now there is texture, so it's not going to be a perfect imprint, but it's going to be cute. So we're going to go right here. Once you put it down, commit. And then give it a nice rub everywhere the ink is. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Claire. All right. All right, let's see. Woo! I love it. Now, I do have a little extra ink right there, but that's okay. If that really bothers me, I can just touch it up with a little bit of chalk paint and texture additive after I get done. But we're going to be doing a lot more to this, so we might just be able to hide it. But look how cute it is already. And that's simply with just a little bit of paint, some texture additive, and a stamp. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side for a second because now we need to, we're going to make something with the Laurel Mould. Get my clay. So I'm going to be using the air dry clay and I'm going to be using the Laurel Mould. I'm going to use this, the wreath part. You can use resin or you can use the clay. Now, the trick about the clay is when you're putting them in your molds, you definitely want to try to have it as one piece of clay. If you start piecing it together while you're putting it in the mold, that's where it tends to crack. Okay, so I always start here. Actually, you know what? Let me zoom in a little bit so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Let me get rid of that. Zoom in. There we go. Is that better? So I start here and I kind of push the clay up. This is one of the older ones here, so it doesn't have the weight of the clay that you need. I don't really use it anyway, but it is a nice feature. It's really nice if you're doing resin because it tells you how many milliliters you need. So as I'm pushing in, I'm just pushing up, trying to keep it all just one piece of clay. And I'm just going to pinch off the extra. Now, I always go back and I make sure I push the mold, the clay in the mold, just to make sure that I'm going to get all the detail, because the IOD molds are generally very detailed. All right, so then I just take my little palette and then I just kind of, because of the micro rim, it makes it easy, to go back and just get that off and see that nice little cut it gives you. As long as you keep it even with the micro rim, it's really nice. Then you can go back and you can get the excess clay off the micro rim. And this is what gives you a really nice, clean. Oops, there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this one too while I'm here, and then we'll pop them out at the same time. So, I don't know about where you all are, but here in Florida, it just turned spring like a week or so ago, and I tell you, I think Florida skipped spring, went right to summer. Yesterday, it was in the last couple days it was in the 90s, just way too hot already. Okay, how to use the rope method on a large mold? I can't seem to get it. Rope method. You know what? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean to take a rope and go like this, like with dental floss? I'm not sure. Is there any other IOD stockists that might be on that can answer that question? Christina, I don't know that, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find out, because now I'm curious. I want to know. Okay, so I'm taking my palette knife and I'm just going to go right across the rim, giving it a nice cut. See how nice that is? Now I can just take my clay, ball it back up, stick it back in, clean up the edges. All right, now let's release it. So I just flip it over and I gently press. You don't want to press too hard, because sometimes you press too hard, you can actually distort your clay and ruin the design. I've done that before. Speaking from experience. So there's one. See how easy that popped up? Oh, now I get it. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I go live, my brain isn't all clear because I'm trying to make sure I'm doing everything in order. What I've seen done, or what I do, is I just take a big roll of clay and then I just start in the middle and spread it out like this. I'm going to move this down just a scotch, since I keep working down here. Yeah, so I just take I'll put that back up there. A big lump, put it in the middle of the big mold, and just spread it out like that. That's why I do it. Okay, let me flip this over. Release. All right, now we are done with that for right now. So now I have two. Hi, Diane. Right? Yeah. And they're very flexible, so you have to be careful when you put them on that we're going to put them on and not mess them up. But I have two that are ready because I want to try something different. I'm going to put these to the side because we may need to use them if I mess these other ones up. You never know how it's going to go. All right, so I'm going to stick those right to the side. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get these from down here. Hopefully they're ready. I did these a little while ago. Yeah. Ooh, looks pretty good. What we're going to do here, let me get my glove off so I can see. Ooh, it's pretty ready. I might be pushing it, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway, just so you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these on each side of the bunny in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to be using something called Galaxy Flakes. These are absolutely amazing. What I did was I already put on a tacky glue and let it dry. And when I say let it dry, it's about dry. Still a little bit on the wet side, but we're going to go for it anyway. All right, are you talking about rolling out a long piece of clay and using it to make continuous impression? Yes, that's what she was doing. Yes. All right, so we're going to go, you just take a little bit of the galaxy flakes and you put them on. And they stick right, a little sticky. Ah, they are very sticky. So you put them on like this. And they stick entirely to your mold with the tacky glue. And they also will stick to your brush a little bit too. It's kind of like foils or gold leaf. All right. I'm going to do this one too. And then we're going to let this dry. And what you do is you smooth it out. And then it actually adheres to your mold. Right now it looks like a hot mess. I get that. It's all right. It'll be fine. Make sure I got some coverage. Michaela, if you're still watching, the other ones work better. These ones are a little bit more stiff. We're going to let those dry for a minute, and then we'll dry brush them off. As long as they're dry in time, I'll be able to put them on the rabbit. If not, we'll just throw the other ones on there. But I don't want to put them on if there's still a sticky mess. I didn't want to have that pre-done because I wanted to be able to show you what it looks like. Definitely will show you pictures at the next time I come on, or I'll post them in the tribe, the Ironwork is Design tribe, so you can see the final look of them. Okay, so what I do next, because I'm wanting this to look like it is old, distressed, is I'm going to take my favorite stamp, I use this on everything almost, is the vintage textures. First I'm going to use the metal crackle, and then I'm going to use the crackle one, because it makes it look like the paint's chippy. I'll leave it zoomed in like this so you can really see what the look is. So I'm just going to, whoops, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp it. So I'm going to do that off screen a little bit. I'm just giving it a light. Don't want too much. And then I'm not going to put my whole square stamp down because, actually I'm going to zoom out just a tad. You don't want to see the size of your stamp. You want it to look a little bit more natural. So I'm going to put some, let's do a little bit right here. And this again is the metal cracked one, it's the one that for metal. So see that? Cute. So it gives the appearance that the metal has scratches on it because it's old. So they're metal scratches. Do a little bit right here. Do some up here by the spout. Do a little bit right here. Notice I'm not re-inking. I'm just kind of rotating my stamp because there's plenty of ink on there. Now, I'll put some on the handle. Cool. All right. We're not going to do the back just yet because I don't want it to smear. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do this one. This one is the crackle. It's going to make it look like some of the paint is chipping off. So I'm just going to ink it with my ink pad. And I'm going to randomly do this also. So it looks like it's just chipping. I don't really want to use the corner because I don't want the corner to show. So I'm going to kind of just bend it just a little. I like to bend the stamp a little bit. So then it looks more authentic rather than just simple square. See that? And obviously the bunny, he could be chipping a little too. So let's give him a little bit. So see that? That I love. Let me check on my Galaxy Flakes. Oh, they are not drying. So for right now, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to stick these ones on. Let me show you what they're going to look like. Put one here. And then we're going to put the other one over here. And I'm going to be putting it on with just some heavy body gel and a little bit of hot glue, just because the hot glue will get it to stick immediately, but the gel will get it to stay a long term. Okay, so flip this over. And you can use wood glue, you can use whatever you want. I just like the heavy body gel. So I'm just going to smoosh this on. You don't need a lot. I'm using the matte one. Okay. And let's see if I'm just going to put one dot at the top and see if my heat gun's ready. Not quite ready. Hey, Cheryl. Thanks. Glad you could catch me. All right, so, and it looks like the heavy body gel is keeping it in place pretty good. So I just want to give it a nice press, not too hard because you don't want to ruin the design, but you definitely want to make sure it sticks. Look how cute. All right, so let's do the other side. Now, when I use this one, sometimes on the Laurel, the wreath, sometimes I break it because it seems to be a little weak sometimes where this is, but that's okay because you know what? It glues back together very easily and you don't have to worry about fixing it or anything because when you glue it back down, the parts just go together, so it's perfect. All right, now this is the tricky part because I want it to match the other side, and these can get a little warped sometimes, so I'm going to need your help because you guys have a better view. Does that look like, I don't know, let's see, how is that? I guess it really doesn't have to be exactly perfect because we're still going to be doing a few other things. Right, where I need to get a baby wipe. See, I already took my gloves off. I can't take it. I need to get used to wearing gloves when I craft. Okay, so here we go. We're almost done with this part. I don't know if... Oh, my camera. Holy moly. Sorry about that. My camera just tipped over. Must be heavy. Let me put something on there. All right. Bring the top down a little bit to rest in the groove. Okay, this one right here. That one? I think I got it. I do have a little bit of a camera, but I can't really... How's that? It's pretty close. All right. Let me turn that down. All right. Just gonna put my top on here real quick. Put this in the water. So it's still bright white, and I feel like we need to use a little bit. It needs a little bit more distressing. So I'm gonna zoom out so you can see, and I want to show you. Whoops, that's the wrong way. There we go. I'm just gonna take my ink pad, and I'm going to just drag it along the bottom here, just to give it a little bit of. Just some more color. And I'm going to just dust it in a few different places. I'm really disappointed that the Galaxy Flakes didn't work. I thought I had it all ready, but I thought 30 minutes would have been plenty time for it to dry, and it didn't. I will show you that on my next time I'm on, though, or I'll post in the try because they're super cool. All right. Here is the lid. Let me close this up. Now, this is cute and all, but you know what? It needs more. I was playing this morning and I made these cute little bumblebees. So I think I'm going to add a bumblebee. I know bumblebee and rabbits don't really go, but this is going to be really cute. I want to show you something really quick with some of the mica powders. The yellow, we're going to make a bee. Let's stick, it's kind of a shadow. Let's make a bee. I've got white, gray, and yellow. Now watch how cool this comes out. So this is just with the IOD air dry clay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust a little bit of the yellow. I'm just going to do a little bit because I'm going to put it up on the top of the spout. So I'm going to dust a little bit of yellow right there, right where the bumblebee is yellow, the yellow jacket. And then for his wings, I'm going to use, it's like an opaque color. So I'm going to use the opaque color on his wings. So I'm going to put some over here, some over here. And then for his head, I'm going to use the dark color. Is this the right one? Yeah. Get a brush. So I'm just going to dip a little bit. You don't need that much. Goes a long way. So here is what it looks like before. Just dusted with the mica powder. Any kind of mica powder, doesn't matter what kind you use. Next, I'm going to take a little piece of clay because it's a little bee. And stick it there. Use my little palette knife. Now watch what it looks like when I release him. See, his wings are translucent. Let's see, is that it? His head is black and his body is gold, so it looks like a real bumblebee. Could I have taken some black and made some stripes? Absolutely, you can do that with paint. But I just thought it'd be so cute. We're going to stick them right up here on the spout. Let me just get some of this stuff out of the way. And then we're going to do our final decorations on here. All right, some heavy body gel again, and some right on the back of our bee, and we're going to stick them. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Just putting some glue on here, and we're going to stick him up here. Look at how cute. And what's nice is because the clay is pliable, you can just mold it right around the top, the round concave. All right, so now we need to, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to paint these real quick because the Galaxy Flakes are just not, they're just still wet. I think I used too much glue. I don't know. I've never had a problem with it before, but we're not going to worry about that now. We're just going to use some, let's use, what color paint should we use? Should we use gold, bronze, brass, black? I think I have every color. We do definitely want to paint it because we want to make sure that clay is sealed with paint. So let's, what do you think? Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Peggy. That would not be a good color, right? No. What about this color? Because it kind of goes with the look. Yeah, let's do this one. This is a color, it's metallic. It's lead. Let's do that. It won't take me that long to paint these. I could probably dust it with mica powder too. Let me see. See if that will work. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Yeah, let's do that. The mica powder. That's cool because it kind of matches with this. And then I can always go back and I can put in another color. I did read somewhere that I think you're supposed to be wearing a mask when you put mica powder on because of, but I'm not sure. And I didn't have a mask handy, so I will make sure the next time I use mica powder, I have a mask on. But look at that. Look how pretty that is. Oh. Does anybody out there ever work with mica powder? Madrid, wow, good morning or good evening. Here we go, look at that. What do you think? Definitely is a little powder floating around, even though I can't see it. My nose can certainly feel it. Whew. Again, this is mica powder in lead, and I didn't have to add anything to it. It just sticks to the clay, kind of like how I just did the bunny. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. When I'm all done and everything's dry later off camera, I will go back and seal it, especially because I want the bunny to stay. Now what we need to do is we need to decorate this. What I mean by decorate is we need a bow and we need to stick something in it because we are going to put this on the table at Easter. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to need a bow. Now, we can always go with something fun and bright, or we can go with something safe, and that's what I'm going to do because I like this one. So we're going to make a bow out of this burlap. And you can do whatever kind of bow you like. I like to make an easy one. Thanks, Michaela. No, the mica powder just seems to stick to the surface because the clay is still kind of wet anyway. And normally you don't need to seal mica powder, but I'm still going to seal everything afterwards just because. You will get some of the mica powder coming off, but. Okay, so what I did was I just simply took my ribbon and just made some folds. This ribbon has wire in it, which makes it really easy to bend and make the bow look the way you want to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm taking a zip tie because that's the easiest thing for me. So I'm just going to zip tie this together. Some people will hot glue it, some people will tie it. There's a lot of different ways to make a bow, but this is the way that I'm going to do it. Plus, it also gives me something that I can stick in or glue or tie onto. Cut that off. So now that it's zip tied, I can kind of manipulate my bow and make it fancy. Hi from Sweden. Oh, hi, Doris. Having the ribbon wire in the in here, so you can make a pretty bow. I'm not really known for making bows, but this one will do for the project. And then I can also take this around here if I wanted to and cover that zip tie up, but it doesn't bother me because I'm going to be putting greenery in here. So let me switch the camera so you can see just this and me decorating it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the camera just so you can see it as I decorate. There we go. Look how cute he is. First thing he definitely needs is greenery. Greenery adds so much to anything you're using for home decor. And look, let me get this out of the way so you don't see that. Some greenery. You want to have it drippy. And then we can put our bow. We can stick our bow right in here. I will take staged pictures so it looks better, but for right now, this will give you an idea. Ta-da! So isn't he cute? And don't forget about the little bumblebee up here. I hope you like it. Let me zoom back out. All right. So this one was fairly easy, and I really wish the Galaxy Flakes would have worked better. It's kind of bright on the screen. But you know what? This turned out just as good with the mica powder. The light is really bright. You can't really see it. But let's see. Let me go up here. Ta-da. Flip it around. Okay. So, where is it? I just want to say thank you for joining me today. This was just a quick, easy spring decor project. You can use it for Easter. You can leave it out for spring. You can even leave it out for summer. It's just something that's cute. And remember, this was a bright yellow can. We toned it down. We added texture. We added a little stamp, some molds, and had some fun. So any last questions? Thanks, Paula. I appreciate you watching, of course. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch, to comment, to share, all of the above. Because I do enjoy doing this, but it is takes a little time to prepare and everything. But I love it because I love everything IOD and I love creating. Thanks, Claire. I love it. And thanks, Cheryl. Okay, guys. You guys have a fabulous week. I will be on again the first Monday of next month. And after that, when I get back, I'll just have gotten back from the IOD retreat out in California. So I'm super excited to go out there and learn and meet the sisters and everybody else in the IOD family that's going. All right, you guys take care. Have a fabulous day.